record this demo for you of the personal injury focused version of ReceptIO. ReceptIO is an intelligent automated lead qualification platform that we've designed specifically for law firms. We've got a number of different demos for different areas. In this one, the objective of the assistant is to convert and qualify web inquiries. You can see that down at the bottom right hand side it appears looking very much like a live chat, but that's where the sort of similarities with live chat ends. It is fully automated. You don't require anyone actually to be managing the chat at the back end. The extent to which the assistant can answer questions is dictated by the amount of training that it's given on your website, your website content, any questionnaires, any qualification criteria, any workflows, etc. But in this case it has a specific objective, and the objective is to arrange a calendar appointment for leads that pass qualification criteria. It's integrated fully with a back-end CRM, which we will see in 2 seconds. Initially what it does is ask for a wee bit more information, what the case is about. It doesn't ask for any personal information. And here's the back end where you can see the conversation as it is developing. At the top right hand side, the information at the moment is sort of random information because we've not asked for that. What we have found is that in cases where we ask for that, you're more likely to peak people off at the outset. This is really just an information gathering section, and in the centre we have the conversation panel that's ongoing. You can see that the question comes in here. Down on the right hand side there's an immediate qualification question. Did the accident happen within the limitation period? And yes is the answer. If the answer was no, we are likely to suggest to the person that it's unlikely that they're going to be able to have a claim, but to please don't hesitate to get in touch if they require any more information. There's a question here which in the workflow, did it happen at sea? No. What we can see now here is that this guest visitor, we still don't have their name. However, what we are doing is picking out of the conversation relevant pieces of information that allow us to determine where the accident happened, who the person is and their relationship to the injured party as they're going through the conversation, and further down that they're related, and some other questions that have been answered within the chat. As you can see, Olivia is now moving on to trying to set up an appointment, and the prospect asks another question. Olivia will now come back. She's been trained to be empathetic, to be helpful, and to provide a little bit more information. Again, the prospect asks another question. This can go on for as long as you want. The one thing that's very clear about this, or that's to be borne in mind, is that this assistant never gets bored, is always empathetic, never burns out, never on holiday, doesn't require national insurance payments, etc., and is designed to remain consistently in line with the objectives that you've sent it, which in this case is to arrange an appointment. So at this stage now the qualification questions have been passed. What we do is we look for phone numbers now, and we start to pull out some of the phone numbers. And again, the name, we hadn't had that before, as you'll have noticed. Now in the background you can see, we'll refresh it here, but this won't be happening like this when your system is implemented, but you can see now that this individual's name, etc., has been updated to the name that's been given in the chat. The phone number's been updated, and the next question that Olivia will probably ask will be to ask for his email address. The objective for this is to ensure that we have the full contact data, so that as the appointment is scheduled, we can process a series of automations designed to maximise the value of interaction, minimise no-shows. ReceptIO is integrated with your calendar platform, whatever that might be. We can see here there's the full conversation history, so as you move in, anyone can view this at any time. There's also the opportunity that if you want, you can take over the AI chat. You will also notice that can be integrated fully with SMS, WhatsApp, and all social channels. So individuals can interact with you there in a fully automated fashion. So the appointment's now been booked. ReceptIO will work with Outlook calendars, Teams calendars, Calendly, etc., and can be linked up with specific calendars depending upon the work type. So it will know which work type it is and will pick out the relevant calendar. We'll then spool through that calendar to check for available periods, and you can see that in Andy's calendar, James Campbell has now been put in. This can be linked up with an individual, it can be linked up with a departmental calendar. As there is a CRM, as in most CRMs, what we have is a pipeline where those opportunities reside, and they can be moved along backwards and forwards, triggering automations. A lot of that will happen automatically in the background. These are the automations that have been introduced. These are templated ones, which can be configured to your exact requirements. The objective here is that every individual, regardless of day or night, time, whenever, will receive an experience in terms of their initial interactions with you that chimes with your brand values and the way in which you wish your firm to be portrayed. Each one can be configured with exactly your tone of voice, different messages, attachments, and what we have found is that with SMS reminders, prior to appointments, immediately prior to appointments, we're minimising no-shows, and if the person doesn't show up, then in the background that opportunity is then becomes part of another workflow, which is a no-show workflow, which is again trying to get them back in the system. So the major differences here with anything to do with live chat are that it's never manned, or doesn't need to be. Always on, can have multiple conversations going on at any given time. It can have conversations day or night. The extent and the detail that it will go into is dependent on its training, the objectives and the guardrails that you set it. If you'd like to find out more, please just get in touch. You can interact with our version of ReceptIO on receptio.ai.